Hi, Miss M's class. Sorry that the math lesson is late today. It was supposed to be posted yesterday. But anyway, today we're going to talk about equivalent fractions. So equivalent fractions are fractions that look different. They don't have the same numerator and denominator, but they are equal. Like, look at this. This is 1 out of 2, and this is 2 out of 4, but the same part of the circle is shaded. So before we talk about equivalent fractions, let's revisit fractions on the number line. How many halves are there between 0 and 2? So look at, here's the number line, here's 0, here's 2. How many halves are there? A half is this, 1 out of 2. Right? You guys all did well on that assignment, so good job. So it's 1 out of 2. How many halves? Well, between 0 and 1, we have 2 halves. 1 half, 2 halves. Between 1 and 2, we have 2 halves. 1 half, 2 halves. So how many do we have all together between 0 and 2? How many halves? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 halves. Now it says, how many thirds are there between 0 and 2? So a third looks like this, right? This is a third, looks like that, 1 out of 3. Well, how many thirds do we have between 0 and 1? We have 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds. 3 between 0 and 1. And then between 1 and 2, we again have 3. 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds. So 3 here and 3 here. How many thirds do we have between 0 and 2? We have, do you know how many? 3 and 3 is, oops, SM. 3 and 3 is 6, right? So that's just something I wanted to revisit, fractions on the number line. Now let's talk about, let's review parts of a fraction. So parts of a fraction, the top number is called the numerator. The bottom number is called the denominator. Numerator, number at the top. Denominator, the number at the bottom. Okay, so now let's talk about it. What are equivalent fractions? Equivalent fractions are fractions that have different numerators and denominators, but they have the same value. So what does this mean? Different numerators. 1 is not the same as 2. Different denominators. 2 is not the same as 4. But guess what? They're equal numbers. These two are equal. Look, half is the same as 2/4. Same part of the circle is shaded. Let's look at some more. Let's practice. 1 out of how many is equal to, how many is that out of 6? So 1 out of how many do you think? Yeah, it's 3. And 2 out of 6. These two are equal. These fractions are equal. They're equivalent. 1 is not equal to 2. 3 is not equal to 6. But 1 out of 3 is equal to 2 out of 6. Okay, let's try another one. Practice some more. 2 out of 3 is the same as how many out of 9? How many? Take a minute. Count. What'd you get? What'd you get? 6, right? 2, 4, 6. 6 out of 9. 2 out of 3. 2 thirds is equal to 6 ninths. Okay, practice some more. How many are here? How many did I shade? And how many is there total? So what is my fraction? And how many do I have here? And how many did I shade? How many are there total? So what we say for this is 3 out of 4 is equal to, this doesn't want to move up, right? Is equal to 6 out of 8. 3 out of 4 is equivalent to 6 out of 8. 3/4 is equal to 6/8. So that's it for our lesson. Let's look at our assignment. Okay, so here's our assignment, math assignment, equivalent fractions. How many fourths are there between 0 and 2? So you figure out how many fourths. What is a fourth? It's 1 out of 4, right? How many fourths are there between 0 and 1? And then how many between 1 and 2? And you add them, okay? Now, how many halves? You know what a half is between 0 and 3. Getting a little harder, but you can do it. Okay? All right, now let's look at the next question. Question number 3. This is 4 out of 8. What does it equal? How many out of 2? Equivalent fractions. This is 3 out of 4. How many does it equal to out of 8? Equivalent fractions. Excuse me. So you have to tell me how many our parts are shaded, okay? That's it for our lesson. I've got to go cough. See you next time.